African Voices International, Freedom in Africa.
Good morning, my fellow African giants. My name remains Leftist Aimuae-Osa Igbinomwanhia, the CEO of African Voices International Nigeria, Nigerian Anatomy. I wish to thank the Global Freedom Board of African Voices International for giving me the opportunity to lecture on the topic, Standing Tall as Freedom Giants. As Freedom Giants, we have a lot of challenges because as a fighter for freedom, there are certain qualities that qualify you to become a freedom giant or a freedom fighter. Those qualities are so important to possess. One, you must not be the type that compromise and fall easily. You must not be carried away with material possessions. You must have the do no harms character in you. You must learn how to listen to people. You must learn how to listen and balance your judgment. You must stand by the truth, even though if the truth is a minority of one. The truth remains the truth. The qualities are actually many. Those are the ones that comes to my mind right now. Possibly as we are making progress, I will remember some of those qualities. Also remember that you are a light in your community and people look unto you. And people also want you to make mistakes so that they will use your mistakes as a reference point. Whenever you want to talk, they always use it against you. That is why at every step, at every decision, you must be very, very careful. As a freedom giant, you must not take any decision out of anger, out of emotion. No, it's wrong. Such decision is always regrettable at the end of the day. We are in the African continent, the most blessed continent in the world. Africa continent as of today is the one that survived the entire world. The African continent is like a football pitch where you have all nations represented on that pitch. I know in a football pitch, there are various numbers which represent different actions, and those numbers have their own task. Then, the most important of all those numbers is the distributor, which is number 10, that stays at the middle, that distributes ball to those that will defend, those that will score, as the case may be. Africa distributes wealth to every part of the world. But as bad as it is, we are still regarded as the poorest continent in the world. Why? Because we have leaders who are free of ideas, leaders who have decided to be puppet to the West, leaders who dance at any time their oppressor pull their strings, they continue to dance. Leaders who lost their self-respect, leaders who don't know their history. If you want to kill a man, take his history out of him. When you take his history out of him, the man is dead already. A man without his past, a man doesn't know his history, is like a tree without a root. The root is the base of a tree. Today, Africa as a continent is full of problems, challenges, unbeatable challenges that beat one's imaginations. We are striving to survive because we have elected hyenas to take off goats. And when the goats are consumed, we ask why. And there's no reason to have asked why. Because what you don't have, you can't give it out. And the African leaders of today has also know their what? That the people don't know themselves. That is where the freedom fighter comes in. Your duty is to educate the people, to give them new orientations, to make them see differently from the way it used to be. Because most of us are choosing some path that seems normal, and such path is never normal. But we look at it as a normal path we must follow, and which is actually dangerous for us as people. As an African who knows himself and his root, and the labor and the foundations made by his ancestors, my mind refused to be conquered. I also challenge all African giants and other freedom fighters around the world to do the same too. When a man's mind is conquered, the man is finished. The man loses battle without putting in for a fight. It is our collective responsibility to demand for accountability for good governance. It's our right. And we must educate our people in that direction. A few years ago, I sat down. I went through our history as people. We have rich history. When we were living, our ancestors were living in a palace. The West, the Caucasians, were living in caves. We have the highest civilization of all time. The histories are there. Even when they destroyed the history by our ancestors. But the one in Kemen, in Egypt, the one our ancestors written on the wall could not be destroyed. Even when they burned the texts, hundreds of thousands of texts in Timbuktu in Mali. But the facts remain that Africa, this great continent, is where civilization started from. And we have a better history. Rich history is all there. What the white men know today is black who taught them. When people refer to colonial master, I just laughed. Ooh. Colonize who? They never colonized Africa. They only came to cause division among us. They came to steal. So when you are telling me that Africa was colonized, I disagree totally with that. That we were never colonized. We were only captured and our history was removed away from us. We were captured to divide us, which they call divide and rule style. Like I said, if you want to kill a man, takes his identity away from him. That is why I beg all Africans to have the culture of reading so that we can pass it on to the next generation. Like I said, I haven't gone through our history. I called my children and said, children, my children, never ever in your life read the Western version of African history. They have nothing to tell us. We know our histories. And we thank God today we have great African writers who have pinned down our history for the next generation, for upcoming generations. We have great writers. And the histories are all there. Undiluted story. Not that the West is giving to us. I want to I want to recognize some great African leaders who have paid the supreme price. I want to start with one of the greatest African leaders of all time, Osagyefo Nkrumah of Ghana, Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso, Sylvanus Olympia of Togo, P.L. Lubumba of DRC, the other one from Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Michel Samora. So I'm trying to be corrected if possibly I could not pronounce the name very, very well. We have a lot of great leaders from Africa. Saddam from Egypt. So many who fought for us. Julius Nyerere of Tanzania. And a lot of others. As African giants, as Africans, we must know ourselves. Like what Socrates says, for man to know thyself, for man to know God is for man to know themselves. We must continue to ask this question inwardly. What is my mission? Who am I? And I believe that God Almighty and our ancestors will lead you to the path of will lead you to the path of destiny that will provide answers for those unanswered questions. On the 19th of November, Man International Day, as declared by, I think, by the United Nations. Man is created by the Most High God. Man simply symbolizes authority in the house, in anywhere. Just think of. Even most cases you want to talk about, the book says, what comes to mind as a symbol of being, of human being, is man. The word man is what is usually used to describe human being. That's to tell you the importance of man. Man is created to chase challenges. Man is created to chase challenges, not to run from trying situation, but to face it and triumph over that trying situation. That's one of the qualities of man. But the world of today is very, very unfair to men. Every day, the man go out there and work hard, work so hard to put food on the table of his family. On a daily basis, the man thinking ability is so tough. He tried to work out modalities to survive on a daily basis in the midst of tough hardship. And with all those great sacrifices made by men, man is never still respected. As of today, we are easily starved and betrayed by those who call our home, especially our partners, who see us as people who do not know themselves. Many men has lost their life in that process. The world of today, the most tortured being in today's world is man. Now, when the man, after bearing so much, could not take it any longer, possibly react, just one reaction, he is tagged with different names, a bully, all kinds of downgrading names. But nobody sees, feels the torture the man gets on a daily basis from the world even from his partner before. So, man, be strong. Don't be discouraged. It's a woman's word, not a man's word. Today, the world are enacting laws, all kind of dangerous laws against man. Indeed, the what they call vamp law in my own country, Nigeria. And the law is, they call it international law. So all African countries has been order mandated to adopt it. Today, we are now practicing the Western type of life in Africa. And we have our own way of life. Although I'm not saying that our partners are slaves to us. They are fellow human beings, they must be respected. But truth be said, man is being tortured. The economy, the kind of torture the man has, the man is now actually going through. It's so much. Emotional torture, economic torture. That's for that. Then, because society issues, pressure, I mean, man is bound and is forced to meet up. Where our partners now compare us with other people. Where are you when this man is making his own? Forgetting that we have different destinies. Every dog has his days. My brother man never battle pressure at all. Take your time, listen to yourself, follow yourself, love yourself, prepare for your tomorrow. There's no sweet man. There's no sweet man. There's no sweet father. What you hear at the end of the day is sweet mother. The man go out there to work hard to ensure that his family is in order. The woman keep on taking the glory. So I'm advising all men in the midst of all these big troubles around us, whatever steps we are taking, take your family along, especially your children. They should be aware of your contribution. They should be aware of your hard work to them. They should be aware of your daily sacrifice to ensure that they are okay. Like I said, the world is unfair to us. But does that mean that you reduce yourself? No. Stand tall. Be brave. Never be conquered. The man who learns how to fight with his knee will never lose his battle. For every today, live well. Prepare your better tomorrow. Face challenges. Don't run away from it. Challenges, problems, frustrations are building blocks of success. It prepares you for a greater challenge. That's why there's this common saying, he who tries and fails, far better than those who never tried at all. When you tried and failed, you have gotten the experience to push further. Never be discouraged at all. Be diligent in whatever you are doing. They say hard work pays. Yes, that's what they said. I will tell you, no, hard work don't pay. If you walk in the midst of honorable men, the men of focus, you achieve your goal. When you are together in purpose, you achieve your goal. We have people who have been hardworking because they are in the wrong gatherings. All their efforts, becomes effort, exercise in futility. There are dividing factors that has brought us to our knees as Africans. Religion is a factor. Tribal issues is a factor. Partisan politics is also a factor. We also have factors like favorism, nepotism, and other kinds of negative factors. But let me start with the tribal issues. All men are created by the Most High God. We have 10 fingers, 2 eyes, 1 nose, 1 mouth. There are nothing actually different from us. We have organs of the same. So why dividing ourselves? The heart has no color. The heart has no color. Today, tribal issues have divided us to a point that some of us will engage on ethnic cleansing. We should kill that evil in us. The Europeans have tribes, but they will never talk about tribes. But they will refer to us as tribes. The Benin tribe, the Ga region tribe. Those are flattery statements. Those statements are factors of divisions. We should not key into it. In the Second World War, it was a tribal war between Europeans. Africans were dragged into it. But they call it World War. It was never mentioned as a tribal war. But in our own way, they call it tribal war. And we key into it. We should think inwardly and look at those factors that have dragged us so badly to almost the point of no return. We should reevaluate it. Reevaluate ourselves. Secondly, religion is the worst thing that ever happened to this great continent, Africa. Religion is one of the most dangerous tools for division. A brother can kill his brother because of religion. Religion has no tribe. It's worst. A man of the same tribe will kill themselves over religion. So the Africans, leaders, Africans, are running to their so-called holy lands. What makes it holy? Some of you run to Israel. Some of you run to Saudi Arabia. Those are meta-slavery. We must have to rethink and recolonize ourselves and take that tobacco and village mentality off our heads. And nobody will do it for you. You must do it yourself. What makes it holy? Most Africans are hypnotized. Honestly, religion has killed us. Even where we are supposed to fight for ourselves, we would be praying to God. How long are we going to be dancing negatively? A man who got married to a beautiful
African
wife,
Voices International, Freedom in Africa.
he never performed his matrimonial duty as a man with his wife so that a wife can get pregnant and start raising families. Only for the man and the woman to be kneeling down and be praying to God for the fruit of the womb. And not even, they didn't stop at that. They have a particular request that God Almighty should bless them with a male child. And the man and woman refuse to perform their matrimonial duties. Is that not that prayer? Was that such prayer being answered by God? No. It's completely exercised in futility. We must take responsibility. We must act. Act. Africans, act. Stand up. Stand tall according to the team. Do what is right. Take necessary steps to redeem yourself. Those are slaveries. Those are what those criminals gave to us. And all of us are into it. Only very few Africans know themselves. And those who know themselves, they want to, at times, try to lecture their fellow African brothers. They laugh at them and look at them and say they don't know what they are doing. Can you tell me the difference between altar and shrine? Can you tell me? Anything, any religion that sees my tradition and my culture as inferior, I will never be part. I will never be part of such beliefs that see my own tradition and culture as inferior. Cultural traditions are ways of people, honestly. Let me go to the third one, which is partisan politics. Partisan politics is dangerous. Look at the credibility of a man, not the party he belongs to. I belong to party A, even if the devil himself is presented in party A, I must be part of party A. No. You must learn how to look at credibilities. Don't be carried by crowd, but be carried by what is good and what is right. If we do not change our ways, the next generation is going to hold us accountable. Today, look at our women. They are more Western in nature. You see the street of Nigeria, for example. Even in my own state, Edo State, women are almost naked. The most annoying part is that some of those women are married and their husbands are with them, well dressed. The man will be well dressed. His wife will be wearing two handkerchiefs as clothes, exposing all her vital organs. Most cases carrying their baby. The man will carry the baby, well dressed. But the woman who wants to keep her body very well, close tight, and is not the one exposing her body. And the man has become a mere vegetable. That's some of the benefit of some of the benefits religion, some of the benefits we have gotten from religion. The religion as of today has made our men more vegetable, a mere vegetable. They no longer think. They are no longer reasonable. I don't know how to put it. I don't know whether it's in other part of the world too. It's so bad that for we to move forward, we must adopt our way as Africans. We must stand tall. We must not give up in this struggle of making Africa to redeem its beauty among nations. For those of you who think Africa is a small continent, it's the biggest continent in the world. Don't believe the illusion that has been given to you by those criminals. Nelson Mandela said, you can't fight an enemy you don't know. Can't fight an enemy you don't know. You must know the tricks of your enemy for you to outsmart them. If you don't know it, you are gone. Today, some of our collections all over the world, works done by our ancestors, and still yet, they are telling you that you were colonized. By who? Go to the Vatican Museum. Go to other museums in in other part of the world. The African art speaks volumes. Come to Benin. Come and see the moat of Benin. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world. Go to Egypt. Go to Zimbabwe. Go to South Africa. Go to Kenya. Go to Ghana. Go to Mozambique. Go to Algeria. Go to Morocco. Go to Libya. Go to Sierra Leone. Come to Nigeria. Just all part of African countries. The work done by our ancestors speaks for us. We must come together collectively as Africans to redeem these great nations. We must do that. It's a task we must do, whether great or small. We must do it well, or every one of us will be doomed. Those problems which has been created for us, that system must be fought. How do we fight that system? Is by re-education of the mind of our people. We must reposition their mindset. We must do what we can't. We must start that change. That change begins with us. The man that needs to be changed, the man that stands in front of the mirror, is the man that needs the change, according to Michael Jackson in his song, Man in the Mirror. Many reggae artists have paid the supreme price. If Africans would love Africa like the Jamaicans, if Africans, I repeat, would love Africa like the Jamaicans, our brother from the West Indies, from the Caribbeans, if only we have the kind of love they have for this great continent. This continent, long ago, would have achieved its duty, its position among the League of Nations. We must love ourselves. If you do not love yourself, nobody will start it from you. We must begin to place value on ourselves. Man, 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 the greatest creation of the Most High God. Never be discouraged. The capitalism idea, don't let it destroy you. Stand tall and be strong and overcome. Truly, we shall overcome. I greet every one of you, my African brothers and sisters, my fellow African giants. I greet you all in the name of the Most High God and in the name of our great ancestors. I remain Leftist Aimuae-Osa Igbinomwanhia. I greet you again. Thank you. Africa, 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 Africa must take its stand among the League of Nations. Bye for now.
African Voices International, Freedom in Africa.